option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
The Ingles Advantage isn't just about savings or the best quality food for your family. It's more than that. It's the advantage of being a part of a community. That's why we provide over 2 million pounds of food every year through regular donations and programs like the Ingles Giving Tree, Food for Thought, and the Ingles Fill a Backpack program. It's the right thing to do, and we know that you would do the same. Ingles, your neighbor for over 50 years.
It's the Sportsocracy live in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville. And Week 15 power rankings, we're inside the top 8 now. So we just had the Detroit Lions at 9, the Dallas Cowboys at 8. And then number 7. This feels off to me.
And it kind of does to me, but I don't know how to do anything else. The Baltimore Ravens.
The Baltimore Ravens right now against the Dallas Cowboys. You're taking the Ravens.
No doubt.
Really?
I get John Harbaugh, you get fat Mike McCarthy. Yep, I'll take that 100 times out of 100 and 40 times on Sunday.
I'm just...
The walking ghost himself, Mike McCarthy. Yep, sure will.
Mm-hmm. I have a team that constantly struggles on offense going up against a defense that is pretty
not
good.
It's
they
not
good.
They beat bad teams just beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me the great team they've shut down. You tell me the good team they've shut down, if I'm being even remotely honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll
but
talk.
that's the thing. I don't have to with Baltimore. Baltimore can barely score 13 points anyway.
And defensively, they're better than you think.
Okay.
The defense has gotten better every single week. Now, the offense has gotten worse every single week. But Lamar is going to be back either this week or next. And I just think they're better. I just think it's a better team. I feel like I've seen the absolute best of what the Dallas Cowboys can be. I don't feel that way about the Baltimore Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, talent for talent, it's not even close. You get down these rosters at full strength, this is
absolutely
not close.
Absolutely. At full strength. Now, it was great to see J.K. Dobbins come back and have the game that he had against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it was Stephen Towle that mentioned earlier that I can keep poo-pooing the Ravens defense all I want to, but they played well this past week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, congratulations. You played well against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are not good offensively. Do I think you're going to be able to do that against the Cincinnati Bengals or any of these playoff teams? I really don't.
Having your full allotment of running backs changes this offense.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Obviously, having Lamar Jackson changes this offense.
Mm-hmm.
But coaching matters. Coaching matters and talent matters. And the Baltimore Ravens have it in droves. Do I love your defensive coordinator? No, I don't. Do I love your offensive coordinator? No, I don't.
No.
But I actually feel like this team is getting healthier at the right time.
Mm-hmm. Which they are.
And if you look at the rest of the schedule, it's the Browns, Falcons, Steelers, and Bengals who may have absolutely nothing to play for by that time.
Right.
Or you could be playing for the division. Both are on the table.
You could be playing for the division, but I think with that schedule, you're probably going to wrap up the division.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be the highest ranked team out of your own division, but you probably be the division champion.
I like the chances of Baltimore winning the next 3 weeks, sitting at 12-4, and Cincinnati probably catches one loss.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which one it is.
How about number 6 in the Week 15 power rankings?
This is where the Ravens are maybe a tier all to themselves. The next 2 teams are a tier all to themselves. The Miami Dolphins.
Yay.
That defense is not good.
No, it's not, but it's the offensive firepower that scares you.
It does, and I wanted to drop Miami like a rock. 2 weeks in a row. But I can't. Because I can't say that Baltimore's better than them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's close. I think it's real close, actually. But I'm forecasting Baltimore. I've seen Miami. Now, if the 2 teams played, I'm probably taking Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Mike McDaniel, the league, as every week has gone on, the league is figuring this out more and more, that he's a kid with bottle rockets. Oh, look, I have these 2 toys that are so good and they're so fast. Yeah, but you're forgetting about what this offense is built on. Because you have to do that one thing that I love saying, and you just keep forgetting it, which is run the damn ball. I feel like the biggest problem with the Dolphins is the talent on their defense and the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Not because he's not a good coach, because he's a young coach. And he's falling victim to, I have to just inundate my 2 best players with targets and touches, and that's not always the case. There are times you got to take the layup, which is, by the way, that's the motto of the Power Rankings today, because I think it's the 6th time I've said it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the 7-yard out to Mike Gesicki is the right call. Cedric Wilson, sometimes that's the right call. And sometimes it's the right call to just run it with Jeff Wilson or Raheem Mostert, and Mike McDaniel forgets that for extended periods of time.
Mm-hmm. It does kind of put a blemish on the win for the Los Angeles Chargers for me, it being that this was the worst game that Tua's had all season long.
But why?
And
why does that put a blemish on anything? What do you think, he got drunk the night before? No, the Chargers had something to do with that.
Okay. I mean, awesome.
That's one of the weirdest things I think I've ever heard you say. It puts a blemish on this that Tua had the worst game of his season.
Was it because the defense was playing so lights out that he just couldn't do anything?
Oh, they hit him about 20 times.
Okay.
So I'm going to say they had a large amount to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it was all in a vacuum and Tua was just bad, but
they also absolutely gave him everything underneath, and they said, we're not going to let you hit us with Tyreek Hill, and we're not going to let you hit us with Jalen Waddle. And Mike McDaniel piddled in his pants. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be honest with you, I've now seen him do that 2 weeks in a row, because he did it against San Francisco too.
Right.
Kyle Shanahan toyed with him. D'Amico Ryans toyed with him. You could have told me D'Amico Ryans knew what they were doing on every play, and I'd have believed it.
Mm-hmm. Miami Dolphins not going to be not going to be the outing that you want this week either. Going up against the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo.
Yeah, this could be the bloom could fall off this rose quick.
But then you
get smoked. You get smoked again. You didn't get smoked against the Chargers. You got smoked against the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
You get smoked and lose 3 in a row. I mean, the end of that schedule is not pretty.
It's fine. You got the Packers and the Patriots. You finish off with the Jets.
I do have to remember that Green Bay game's not in Lambeau. As I think I've said that 9 times, and it's not.
You have. No, they're playing in Miami against the Packers. They do have to go on New Year's Day to the New England Patriots, which is not going to be pretty. It's not going to be easy, I guess I'll say.
And then
you got the New York Jets at home to finish out the season. I mean,
that's a really good defense in 2 cold games.
Mm-hmm. You're still going to make the playoffs. So there's no question about that. Is there?
Maybe.
Who's going to take it away from them?
Well, the Chargers are not going to lose no game. And straight up, the Chargers are not losing another game.
Mm-hmm.
And there are at least two teams that are in this that could take this away from you. I guess think about what you just said. Every game but one of those is in the division. Or not in the division. They are in the division. I meant in the conference, but there is a path that Miami doesn't make the playoffs.
Okay.
I think it would be difficult, and they would need somebody to get really hot, but it's there. There's a possibility they're playing the Jets in the last week of the season to determine who goes to the playoffs. And if you tell me that's the case, I like the Jets.
Okay.
Because one of you is playing with house money and one of you is not.
Yeah.
And Robert Saleh knows you just as well as Kyle Shanahan does.
Right. I don't believe that Miami Dolphins are a Super Bowl threat.
I don't in any way.
But none of these teams are to me.
The next one is.
Right. We haven't talked about a team yet in these power rankings that we do believe is a Super Bowl threat.
Nope.
That line gets drawn at the number 5 team.
The San Francisco 49ers.
Uh-huh. The Brock Purdy show. It seems to work.
I think it'll be fine. I mean, this team's going to win by running the ball and putting Brock Purdy in plus situations. I mean, look, if he can do what he did against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I think that's going to happen? Not to that level.
I mean, you didn't prove a whole lot. Other than, hey, Brock Purdy can actually start a game from start and to finish, be efficient. They didn't ask him to do anything in the second half. Didn't have to. That's how badly they were beating the brakes off of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I laughed every time I heard the announcers during that game talk about, can you believe what he's doing to this top 5 defense? Can I just say something about this defensive ranking for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Y'all want to take a look at the schedule?
It's all smoke and mirrors.
It's all smoke and mirrors. They have been god-awful this year. And they're playing these close little gross games with all of the worst teams in the NFL. Do you remember when we started out the year and we were making our preseason predictions? And we went, well, there's no way Tampa Bay doesn't go 13-3 because they only play 3 legitimate teams on their schedule. I think it was Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs, and the San Francisco 49ers. This is not it's not a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fact that San Francisco and Brock Purdy were able to just blow them out, I didn't take anything away from that.
I did.
Other than you can show me you can start a legitimate game and beat a bad team. Good job.
I saw Brock Purdy make high-level throws that I didn't know he had in him. Now, do I want to see more of that? Absolutely. I mean, I'm not taking that one win and running off into the sunset saying San Francisco's fine, no big deal. But they're in much better shape than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I thought I thought Tampa Bay was going to do San Francisco what San Francisco did to Tampa Bay. Not blow them out to that point, but make the quarterback look that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't happen.
It didn't happen. Just didn't happen. Sometimes it don't always work out the way you planned. Which is a great segue into the most important message of the day. Which is always Jeremy Greene.
Don't do crimes.
Nope. Don't do them. Let's go to Linden, New Jersey for this one. Police searching for a man who got a little unruly at the liquor store. Oh, shocker.
It's a bad place to get unruly.
It is. It is. The Linden Police Department released surveillance video over the weekend showing the chaos inside Beano's Liquors on Northwood Avenue on the evening of November the 30th, where a customer tried to buy a small bottle of liquor at the store, but apparently he didn't have enough money to purchase said bottle. So what does the good alcoholic do in this scenario?
Drink at the store.
No, he haggled. He tried to haggle.
He
tried to haggle. He tried to go, hey, look,
going.
They didn't give any, play-by-play on the conversation, but you can see in the surveillance video, the guy's obviously going, hey, I don't have enough money. Could you maybe give me a discount? Well, what for? Are you like a veteran or? No, I just don't have the money. You know, it's people helping people, man. It's the Christmas season. It's the giving season. Why don't you Help me out. Well, they wouldn't give it to him, and he became so irate that he started just chucking bottles off the shelf at the people behind the counter. Now, after not having enough money to pay for your little bottle of liquor, this guy, when he gets caught, pretty sure he's going to get caught, wasn't wearing a mask or anything. Somebody's going to identify this guy, and he's now going to be on the hook for $3,000 worth of damage. All because you had like $1 or $2 short on your little nipper bottle that you were trying to get. Dumb criminals never cease to amaze.
Mine, it's not necessarily dumb criminals, but I'm going to venture a guess that they were drunk criminals. This comes from Saturday's Arizona Coyotes Boston Bruins game.
Okay.
There was a fight in the crowd, and it wasn't a little slap fight. There was a security guard that went full Randy Orton, jumped over 3 rows of chairs to take somebody out because this got aggressive. But that's not actually why I'm telling the story. There were 7 people total involved in this. 1 man has been arrested for suspicion of aggravated assault. 1 injured person was transported to the hospital. Arizona State University Police, which is where the Coyotes play, confirmed that a Phoenix police officer was also injured during the scuffle, although it's unclear how severe that is. That is also not why I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this because in the midst of the fight, somebody bit off another person's finger. Bit it off, O-F-F, bit it off. Now, I've been in a fight or two in my life. I have never been a biter. A. B, I live by a very simple facet of if I ever think that I'm whooped, I'm going to get naked because nobody wants to fight the naked guy.
Get naked.
3, how do you bite somebody's finger off? I feel like that takes a lot of skill.
No.
That can't be a glancing thing.
I think all that takes is just enough will.
Maybe my fingers are just stronger than other people. I feel like it would take quite an effort to bite one of my digits off.
Might be surprised at how strong the human jaw can be, especially depending on how much in danger you feel your life might be.
I don't know that you necessarily felt like your life was in danger, but
I mean, if you're getting pummeled in the middle of a stadium, yeah, I think life's in danger. Because I've seen these videos, and it only takes one other drunk dude to get involved for this to be a melee on the Coyotes fan or whoever.
Osendo said, Jeremy, you can bite a finger off like biting into a carrot.
Yeah.
All right. Looks like I've been lucky in my life because I never protected my fingers to that point. I worried about my rather large beak.
Well, I don't feel like you have to worry about that because even the people that are in a fight with you, they don't know where your hands have been, and we're not putting those in our mouth.
It's not a bad point.
I will get beat like Buford Pusser before I would put one of your fingers in my mouth.
And frankly, I appreciate that a lot because I'm not sure that I would ever recover from that.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. I'll put the John Roten on you. Don't you worry.
Frankly, I think I'm going to go have a good cry just because I thought about it for too long.
Week 15 power rankings continue next. Plus, Jeremy saw a movie, a Christmas movie.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Big winter storm system taking shape in the heart of the country. It rolls our way for midweek with some 1-inch rains here in the valley Wednesday night, Thursday morning. 35 our low tonight with increasing clouds. Rain chances going up Wednesday afternoon, high 47. Heaviest rain Wednesday night and early Thursday morning. And then rain Thursday morning with a high of 50 degrees. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
240 westbound, stop and go between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 westbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, very busy. 240 on the eastbound side, stop and go between Tunnel Road and Exit 8. In Haywood County, 40 westbound, stop and go between NC 209 and US 276. Sweeten Creek Road southbound, stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road. Delays. Merriman Avenue northbound at Beaver Dam Road is slow. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. Looking for holiday gifts that won't be re-gifted? Head to eBay Motors. With millions of parts and accessories at the right prices, there's something for every car lover on your list. And with the money you save, you can pick up something for yourself, too. Happy holidays indeed. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Try great tasting Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and nutrients to support immune health. Those who tried Ensure Max Protein reported feeling more energy in just 2 weeks. For more information, including consumer survey details, please visit Ensure.com.
I've been holiday shopping at Kohl's, and I've got to admit, their deals are some of the best I've seen. I've been earning Kohl's Cash every day, while saving an extra 25% on top of 50% off cute PJs and 40% off comfy slippers. Plus, I just got 30% off super soft Kookaburra by UGG bedding. With more gifts and more savings at Kohl's, the holidays just got so much cozier. Select styles. Offers end December 18th. Kookaburra by UGG. Coupons do not apply. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Sounds like someone needs to sing a Christmas carol.
No way.
The best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
People were human beings to him, but to you, a warped, frustrated old man, they're cattle. Well, in my book, he died a much richer man than you ever be.
If you believe in this spirit thing, the miracle will happen, and then you'll want it to happen again tomorrow. You won't be one of these that says Christmas is once a year and it's a fraud. It's not. It can happen every day. You just gotta want that feeling.
Jeremy saw a Christmas movie, and as we all know, he doesn't have the greatest of taste in movies, but he found one he likes.
I love that drop so much. So the one I watched was Daddy's Home 2. If you saw the first one, they basically made a Christmas version of it. It's Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell, and they're co-dads.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
They go on vacation for Christmas. They rent this big cabin, and there's a third co-dad that you don't see until later, and it's John Cena, and it's hilarious. But their dads come to this, and Will Ferrell's dad is John Lithgow, and Mark Wahlberg's is Mel Gibson.
And, of course, Will Ferrell is the modern, soft, sensitive dad.
Yes, they're
Mark Wahlberg is the, he's the sexy one, the tough guy of the group. You know?
And his dad,
you can see why.
Oh, it is absolutely hilarious. And I'm not going to lie, I watched this going, why am I identifying with one side of this so much more than the other?
Because Mel Gibson's character in that as Mark Wahlberg's dad is you as an old man.
Oh, no doubt. Oh, absolutely.
Actually, not as an old man. That's you at 35 years old.
Also, yes. It was so good. I highly recommend it.
Yes.
It was a great movie.
Yes.
And it has the ending that you expect for a Christmas movie.
Of course it does. It all has to have the happy ending. What did you think was going to happen?
See, I told HWA that. Because she was like, well, the ending was very vanilla for what the rest of the movie was. Well, it's a Christmas movie. What'd you expect?
Right.
They never have the gruff ending, which always disappoints me, but,
Well, I mean, the next Christmas movie on the list may very well give you the ending that you want.
Oh, I don't even know what it is.
Krampus.
Krampus.
It's Krampus time. Yeah, I feel like that's the one you got to do. I have gone back and forth about watching that movie. Like, part of me is interested, and then the other part of me is like, I don't really want to watch it.
The scale, this will be our second two. The scale for Jeremy saw a movie is how many domestic lights would he have to consume to watch it again. This is our second two. And for posterity's sake, Elf was whatever keeps Charlie Sheen functioning.
Yours, it was all of the domestic lights that were not sold at the World Cup.
Bingo. They would have to drop those. They would have to airdrop those pallets at my house.
Right. Let's get back into the Week 15 Power Rankings. We'll have another Mullets 12 Days Movies of Christmas, whatever we want to call this thing, coming up for you tomorrow right here in the Sportsocracy at number 5. This is where the title contenders begin.
4. San Francisco was 5.
Oh, that's right.
We do this before the show. At 4, the Kansas City Chiefs. Look, that may sound low. That's where they were last week. It's probably where they're going to continue to be. Because they're the one of these teams that defensively cannot play dead in the Western.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the one of these teams that does not have the no doubt number one dog on the outside. Look, I know you got Travis Kelce. I'm well aware of that. I just feel like not having that deep threat, that no doubt number one guy, that's the differentiator to me. Look, all 4 of these teams are great.
Yep.
If you gave me the top 4 here, I'll give you the rest of the league, and I'll bet my ability to have fun on it for the rest of my life. Because to me, there's 4 teams that can win a Super Bowl. No more, no less.
No more, no less. So the San Francisco 49ers aren't even in your
Say this out loud. Brock Purdy, Super Bowl champion.
I get it, but Jimmy Garoppolo could come back.
Say this out loud. Jimmy Garoppolo, Super Bowl champion.
Hey, he was one throw away from it just a couple of years ago. You never know.
And yet, he didn't.
But
Close.
Say this. Christian McCaffrey, Super Bowl champion. Now, doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that make you
not
feel
for
warm
me.
inside?
It's fine.
It should. You should celebrate that. At number 3.
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm. Buffalo Bills in at number 3, and it's the only place you can have them, in my opinion.
Jets-Bills win exactly how I thought it would. The Jets will cover. The Bills will win, and it will never be in much doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Because Buffalo's a better team. They may be one of those teams that's death by 1,000 paper cuts, too. I mean, do you realize how many things they had to do wrong to let the Jets get to a point where this was a one-possession game with an onside that if you recover it, we could be Ralph Wiggum in danger here.
Yeah, I do. Because I think for the last 5 weeks, it's the one thing I keep going back to with this Buffalo team. They find a way to make games more interesting than they should. And at some point, it's going to come back to bite them. It bit them in the Minnesota game. And you get into that scenario in the playoffs, you're going to lose. You keep playing with fire, you're going to lose.
No doubt.
At number 2.
There's only 2 teams left.
Uh-huh.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
See, and this is the other one that caused great discussion before the show, because the Philadelphia Eagles, to me, look like the best team in the NFL, and it's not even relatively close for me right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get that these other teams, we're all in the championship tier, and we all got a shot. But the Philadelphia Eagles over the last 2 weeks, now I get that they just thumped the New York Giants, and that shouldn't be something great to hang your hat on.
Mm-hmm.
But they are finding a groove at this time where they are the most dominant team in the NFL, and it's not close.
You remember You remember that thing I said about the Detroit Lions of name me the team that they have lost to that was not in the top 17 of our power rankings?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's do that in reverse. Name me the teams that the Philadelphia Eagles have beaten that are in the top 14 of our power rankings. Because there's 2 of them, and the Dallas Cowboys. And the first 2 were the first 2 weeks of the season. I'm not saying they're not the best team in the league. I'm not. I love A.J. Brown. The defense, Howie Roseman went and fixed the one problem that you had, which is we're struggling to stop the run. I think that, and you can call me a conspiracy theorist, you can call me whatever you want to. I feel like whoever comes out of the AFC is going to be so seasoned that whoever comes out of the NFC is not going to have a shot. Because you haven't played teams like this.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what the AFC representative is going to have to play to get there. And that's the tiebreaker to me. And there's one team that I just think's better than every other team in the NFL. I've been higher on them all year. I've been called a homer more times than I can count. And now I think they're showing you why. Because they have, to me, the best quarterback in the NFL. They have, to me, the best receiver in the NFL. And they have a defense that is, well, at the end of the day, pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
At number 1, the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, another kitty cat coming in.
I told you the kitty cats were going to be the ones that, that people ruffled feathers over.
Much higher than you expected them to be.
What's the drawback of Cincinnati? We said it for 2 years. 2 solid years.
Offensive line.
Okay. They had Myles Garrett lined up on the other side. Joe Burrow got breathed on 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
If you're telling me that you're not going to be able to get to that quarterback at a high level, he will pick you apart. And the difference between Cincinnati and Philadelphia, and you know what? Say what you want. You get Jalen Hurts, I get Joe Burrow. Advantage me 100 times out of 100.
Mm-hmm.
If Jalen Hurts proves me wrong, it won't be the first time, and it won't be the last. But I'm going to have to see it first.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched Joe Burrow deal with, at times, just maddening coaching. A poor offensive line at times. And still do this. And now I feel like the coaching has gotten better and the line has gotten better. If I had to put doubloons that mattered to me right now on a team to win the Super Bowl, it's the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
And I know that because I did it this morning.
Because he's already done it. And you can do it too. Just go to betus.com. Use the promo code SPORTSOCRACY. Get a 125% bonus on whatever you put in to your account up to $2,500.
That's promo, folks. That's right. Why he's a pro.
That's how that is done. Number 1 team is the Cincinnati Bengals in the Week 15 power rankings. Philadelphia Eagles, they're my number 1. But
that'll be going out on our social medias. And we're going to do Tank's power rankings and mine. We never have done that before.
We're going to put them up side by side?
Yep.
Okay.
And you'll be able to vote on whose are more accurate and all of the things. That'll be up about 20 minutes after the show's over.
It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow 240 eastbound between Tunnel Road and Exit 8. 240 westbound slow between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 westbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, also very busy. Future 26 eastbound stop and go between Riverside Drive and 240. Haywood County 40 westbound stop and go between NC 209 and US 276. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road north and southbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound delays between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go approaching the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Some banks can make it complicated to redeem credit card rewards. But with Discover, you can redeem your rewards for cash in any amount at any time. Talk about amazing. Learn more at discover.com/redeem rewards. Terms apply.
Full synthetic and a MicroGuard Select oil filter for just $33.99. Try Syntec today, exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
People here are raving about QC Kinetics and how regenerative medicine has changed their life. People like Helen, an avid mountain climber who got sidelined when an accident left her knees in constant pain.
I was not able to train or do really anything on my knee.
Helen was told surgery would be her only option, But then she found QC Kinetics and was treated with natural biologics designed to repair and restore tissue in her knees. 3 months later, she was climbing the highest mountain in North America.
I got a very quick resolution to my pain. I began treatment in March, and I summited Denali June the 7th. It was super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
Get your life back with lasting results. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Call QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
The iHeartRadio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge rolls on. Make your picks by the Thursday night game at ESPNAVL.com. Weekly winners win a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing and a register for the grand prize, a year's worth of golf for two at Chestnut Mountain Golf Course.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The Ingles Giving Tree, benefiting Manna Food Bank, will be on display at Asheville outlets as a reminder of the needs of so many families in Western North Carolina. Drop off non-perishable items in the donation barrels at all Ingles locations. Donate online or at the Ingles Giving Tree at Asheville outlets so Manna Food Bank can reach everyone who needs help. Nothing can hold back the holiday spirit of giving in Western North Carolina. Please help Ingles Markets, iHeartRadio, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen-Times ensure Manna Food Bank can fill thousands of empty plates this season.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. And all the heartfelt well wishes go out to the Leach family today as the college football world lost an innovator, a legend, an entertainer. I mean, Mike Leach was so good for so many years at not only giving you teams that you probably didn't expect much from at the beginning of the season, but as the seasons went on, you went, wow, this is a well-coached team. They're dangerous offensively. And unfortunately, he was not able to survive the massive heart attack that he had on Sunday. He passed away last night at the age of 61. Mike Leach will be missed.
Unapologetically himself, and something that I've really never said. Mike Leach was proof positive of something that has always irked me. There's long been this narrative that guys that played in the league or whatever the case may be know this game better than those that haven't. I've always grizzled at that, and Mike Leach was a perfect example of that. There's a guy with a law degree that chose to follow his dream, and he was always himself. He's one of the funniest people you will ever see. And the most common theme that I have heard over the course of the day, that is the smartest man I have ever met when it comes to the game of football. Mm-hmm. And he was a pioneer, and it's just it's a very sad day. And I highly recommend, if you've never seen this before, go to YouTube and search Mike Leach marriage tips. It is ridiculously funny. And he did this all the time. Cargo shorts, coffee, just all of these things that would wind up being topics at his press conferences. Mm-hmm. I said it on Twitter this morning. The SEC Network sideline will never be the same again.
No, it will
because
not.
He's the only coach I've ever seen that could wind up giving the reporter tips on that she should elope and telling a man that he has never met to call him.
Yes, absolutely. I loved Nick Saban's tribute to him as his statement about him earlier today was, I got to know Mike over the last few years since he joined the SEC. He said, we always had these conversations and I never knew where they were going, but they always put a smile on my face. That he was he was just that kind of guy, being weird guy who talks like a pirate.
And he loved giving people advice. A story I read on Twitter on the way out. He was once in a meeting. His phone rang. He talked for 10 minutes. He lost connection. He called the person back, and 30 minutes later he came back in and his staff asked, "Who was that?" It was a wrong number. That's something you could learn, that you spend 40 minutes talking to somebody that you don't actually know.
Mm-hmm.
That was Mike Leach.
Rest in peace, Mike Leach, dead at the age of 61. We'll be back with you tomorrow afternoon right here on ESPN Asheville, sharply at 3.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Big winter storm system taking shape in the heart of the country. It rolls our way for midweek with some 1-inch rains here in the valley Wednesday night, Thursday morning. 35 our low tonight with increasing clouds. Rain chances going up Wednesday afternoon, high 47. Heaviest rain Wednesday night and early Thursday morning. And then rain Thursday morning with a high of 50 degrees. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 west and eastbound very busy on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. Future 26 eastbound is slow between Riverside Drive and 240. 40 westbound stop and go between NC 209 and US 276 in Haywood County. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound delays between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound is slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. In the Fruitland area, Chimney Rock Road near Townsend Road delays both directions. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer. When temperatures drop, COVID-19 cases may rise. So if you test positive and are at high risk, act fast. Even if your symptoms feel mild, ask your provider if an authorized oral treatment could be right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station. XF.
And could theoretically. So we
Next.
Lowest prices at Total Wine and More.
such as heart disease.
MyPhDweightloss.com.
Dancing crew.
Vehicle all the
highest levels in
Station. Log on to
Rogue.
Audio.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
In EST.
Unknown caller.
Risk factor, such as
Markets, iHeartRadio, WLO.
Call today at 828-774-6343.
Will be on display.
Market analysis.
The Ingles Giving Tree. Radio, WLO. Mana Food Bank can fill thousands.
why some people who get COVID wanted to know why some.
It's this season.
I want.
Audio Jungle.
I want.
Audio Jungle.
I don't know about
The Sportsocracy.
at
80.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and
since
Coming up next.
Since man created roads, they've been looking.
Is that very godly?
Apply. Visit Verizon.com. Watch iPad and Beats.
The iHeartRadio gift card to Asheville.
If cleanliness. Show your wrist there. Jets fan. If cleanliness is next to God.
Love the savings.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio
Go.
iHeartRadio.
Time. Call QC.
AM.
Just
that You don't actually know.
ESPN Asheville, sharply at 3.
Thousands of empty plates this
Chestnut Mountain Golf Course.
About properties. Real
Mullet's 3-round mock draft version 4. At number 3, the Seattle Seahawks, who have the Denver Broncos picked after the greatest awful trade since Herschel Walker. At number 3, you just take the best player available, and that's clearly, to me, Jalen Carter, the defensive tackle out of Georgia. He may end up being the best defensive player off that Georgia 2021 national team.
real estate isn't about
So bad. I found
Sure.com.
Everyone's heard about
the Russell Wilson trade, officially the worst trade in NFL history, and should get George Payton fired.
Rogue Combat Club.
This message is sponsored by
Coming up. Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for